Hi, I'm Dave Barnes.
And I'm John McLaughlin.
And welcome to Dadville.
Dadville is a podcast where we talk about life, love, and the pursuit of awesome dadding.
It's funny thoughts and deep talks.
So please, enjoy your time here in Dadville and enjoy this episode with...
Dave and me. John.
Kaylee Cuoco and Sam Claflin star in the MGM Plus original series, Vanished. When the man Alice loves disappears on a train to the south of France, every romantic memory becomes evidence. Every intimate detail, a potential threat. She thought she knew everything about him, but she may not even know his real name. 4-part thriller Vanished premieres February 1st on MGM Plus. Finding the truth is a dangerous affair.
And we're live.
We're live.
My
gosh.
Okay.
2026.
I want to reintroduce. So.
And we're off.
I was going to say I want to reintroduce myself. I feel like, I've been a little out of commission vocally, and so I just want to say, hey guys, it's me, Dave. I'm the same. No,
yeah.
Can I address that first? People are going to wonder, like, have you changed? Do you feel different? Do you?
What new insight?
Yeah.
Like you've been into the Holy of Holies.
Yeah.
What
have you brought out? And really nothing of consequence.
It was so dark in there.
It was scary. I wanted to get out immediately.
The rope was uncomfortable.
I got lost and tangled up in the for probably 2 or 3 hours. They sent someone in, which that you're not supposed to do. And
in case people don't know what we're talking about, maybe tell them.
You just want to speak. Let's start there. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
So I was on vocal rest. I've never done that. Have you ever had to do that? We didn't talk about that. Okay.
No.
Yeah. So the Barnes corporate got like that flu, which if y'all have gotten it this year, everybody I know it's been miserable. And last year was it last year? It was a year or two ago. It was really bad because we got it then too. Anyway, it was so bad that I coughed so much, and I coughed so much that I had ulcerative laryngitis, which means I coughed ulcers onto my vocal cords. So they looked like little yellow, I don't know how to say it other than this, like pus bags.
Yeah.
Which was my nickname in middle
I wish
school.
you would come up with a different description of it.
It's there and it's out, and it's a lot.
Accurate.
And so, and I'll tell y'all, man, and something I'm extremely thankful for. I did not do Christmas shows this year, which was a big decision. I've done those. It was probably going to be my 16th year or something straight. But I just kind of felt like I wanted to give it a break, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But I was like, let's just don't do it. And that was made, that decision was made almost a year ago. I mean, because like you book those as you know so well.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, didn't book them. It was a hard decision, but I was like, felt right. And then for this to happen, I just was like so thankful that God sort of allowed it to go that way because one, canceling would have been hard, but then I'm on the hook for that money to pay the guy. It's a lot. It's a lot to do.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a good part of it. I did have to cancel one show, which was a bummer. But so anyway, I was getting close to that show about mid-December. Throat was weird. I didn't know what had happened. I just know I was really hoarse. I started taking steroids and then called my good friend Jenny Muckala at the Vanderbilt Voice Clinic and was like, hey, can I come in and maybe get scoped? Because this was like the Monday. I had a show that Saturday night.
Which you sent me a voice memo at some point around this time, and I think I saved it, but it was crazy. It didn't sound like Dave Barnes with a scratchy throat.
Yeah,
it sounded like a stranger.
Yeah.
It was like your whole voice changed.
Yeah, maybe possessed. And so I called Jenny and I was like, hey, can I come in? And she's like, hey, let's just do a scope. And so, it was really, those moments are interesting. It's nowhere near like real bad news, but you can feel in the room and then you see it and it's like, oh, because, I'm looking at the screen with him and it's like, well, that's probably not good. And then, Dr. Kobayashi, shout out, who's great, came in and was kind of like, or he may have been in the room and he's like, yeah, so those are ulcers, which are not nodes. Big difference. Nodes are scary. That's bad news. These are a trauma event, which means something happened, they happen, and then you just let them heal. And so he said that, but he's like, you got to go on vocal rest. And so for a week, which, is never fun. That's a little scary. And then I went back a week later. We scoped again. They gotten a lot smaller, which is great. But he was like, you can kind of talk as you need to, but no more. So that was
So
the
how
second
long
week.
were you on hardcore vocal rest?
7 or 8 days.
7 or 8 days
Um,
of not talking
not
at all.
talking at all. Yeah, and had to cancel that show, which is the whole reason I went in. So that was the worst part. Is he was like, hey, so, and I'd been on steroids that whole week, so that was like, who knows what they look like before that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, he's like, yeah, so you cancel the show, much less cancel the show, but you need to not forget singing. You don't need to talk.
Yeah.
And he wasn't overly scary, but I think he was trying to communicate the
severity of the
severity
situation.
of needing to not aggravate them.
Yeah.
Because he was like, these should 90% of the time these heal fine. You have cases where they get aggravated and it can really mess your cords up. So that's kind of like, well, I don't love that. So of course, did that, and then thankfully the third time I went in, they were gone. But now it's I think the thing that is so frustrating about your voice, which I'm learning in your vocal cords, is that they're just really sensitive. Like they are wonderful little sensitive muscles, which is honestly how I've described you, but singularly. And so it's like even now, like I went a week ago, and we're like, geez, 4 or 5 weeks out, and they're still inflamed.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And he's like, it just takes time, and so
Yeah.
it's but I'm back. I'm thankful that wasn't anything, but it's weird, man.
Yeah.
Like,
What was the week like? I mean, is there any sort of like on day 5 you have some sort of epiphany?
I'll tell you the moment that was, because it's hard to not feel like this is a spiritual event. It's hard to not sort of put this weight on like, okay, what is it I need to know? Because it sort of in a very hysterical, much more pedestrian way. But you think of like, who is John's dad, John the Baptist's dad, that got struck, dumb because he. And, there's a little bit of like, what is God trying to tell you in this moment?
Of course.
But I'll tell you, I didn't even tell you this. It was really powerful. I left, so I went the first time. And, it's scary. It's like, one, I had to cancel that show, which was, going to be a kind of our income for the month. So that wasn't fun. Because, turning down $350,000 like that, it's just tough. And
the first time is super hard.
It's so hard.
Eventually, it gets easier.
That is in African rupees. So it is a different translation to American dollars. No, but it was like, that was going to be kind of our income of the month. And I don't know what your life is like, but December isn't. There's a lot of money leaving accounts.
Yeah.
That's
not
what
my
coming home
accountant
to
just
roost.
emailed me.
So anyway, I went to the first visit, and it was like, scary, and I kind of left, but like, all right. I think the good thing I don't know how everybody works, but I know in situations like that where I feel like something has been sort of given to me, it's like, hey, this is just what this is.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty good at going, okay, like I don't fight that. I'm not the guy that's like, I'm just like, this is what this is.
Yeah.
It is a waste of my time to like, well, can I? It's like, so then I'm like, all right, Lord, like, what does this mean? Like, what do you need? What do I need to know? What should I do about this? And so that week was, like it was good. I felt like had some really great time praying and kind of like thinking through and some wonderfully encouraging things from friends. People sending me verses and just kind of things to think about. It was really great. Shout out to Kendall Magana, who sent me a really great thing about that really became a real message for me in that time, in Isaiah. But anyway, go the second time and they're still there. And I think that was maybe even harder than the first time because I was like, oh, this is going to be a minute. Because I really thought like I could go in and they'd just be gone. I was doing a lot of red light therapy stuff on my neck and really trying to be diligent about water intake and stuff. And I think when they were still there, they were much smaller. But it just was like the heaviness of like, because he was, he and Jenny were both like, Dr. Kobayashi and Jenny were both like, look, this is just going to take a while. And I think it really set in. I was like, is this going to be, we've got some shows at the beginning of the year. Like, and so I was walking down 21st outside of Vanderbilt, and I was just really like sad and frustrated. And I was like, Lord, what are we doing? And I'm telling you, man, the Lord said to me, will you let me take care of you? I heard it as clear as a bell. And then said again, because I really just want to take care of you. And I'm going to cry now, but it was such a poignant moment. Like, I stopped walking. It was so clear to me what he was saying. And it was just a beautiful moment of kind of like, these things that can happen in our lives where I think, I just know in my life where I really feel like God is like, look, man, I told somebody this the other day, like, this is turning into a very Christian episode all of a sudden, but I don't know. I just think everything God's doing in our life is to free us. He's just trying to get us free. It's like he's trying to unburden us with things that we are burdened by and to give us the freedom that he can give. And I think there's been so much of that in my life in the last couple of years. And that moment was just such a wonderful moment. It just felt like such a gift. And I was like, man, if that's the product of this, I'm okay with that. That's a great product.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing to really hear from the Lord. And so it really shifted the next few weeks for me. I was like, no, I don't need to worry about this. Like, of course he's providing for me anyway, but I thought it was so kind of him to say that, just to be like, and it was like, I just felt lighter. I was like, yeah, cool. I can't do anything about this.
That's great. Yeah.
So it was great. It was a wonderful thing to hear and feel. But yeah, I feel better. It's weird. It's like, I can sing, but I'm definitely like, I don't have my whole range. I'm great in like the middle.
Yeah.
But I'm still, it's like very incremental how I can tell I'm getting the top end back,
And so when do you have to sing again?
Too. Not for a few weeks.
Yeah. What's the song that has to be cut first?
I haven't even picked up the guitar to try yet because I just don't want to square up with it yet because I'm like, that'll just send me to a place that I'm not ready to go yet. And I can't do anything about it. I think, it's weird. I thought about this in the car the other day. I don't know if you're this way because I have a feeling this is probably like a first child, like rule follower thing. I do so well if you'll just tell me, if you give me limitations, I actually kind of thrive.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay. And so I even thought in the car, I'm like, this feels weirdly freeing. Because like I just
You're
can't
like, here's
sing
my
those
range.
notes. I can't do them.
Let's make this work.
So we just wipe that off.
Yeah.
So now what are we dealing with? We moving some capos? That's great. Because I can still sing. Like the middle of my range, I sound pretty normal.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think now it's just going, okay, that's just, and it's weirdly for my weird little personality. I'm like, that's great. Now I know I don't even have to think about that. It's not like, well, if I push.
Well, and I mean, not to get too in the weeds of singing and performing, but there are, I think this a lot when I'm watching somebody perform and they're singing stuff that I'm very familiar with. It can't be new stuff. But it's like we have all these things, or I should just say for myself, I have these little things that I do, both on the piano and vocally, that become part of the song. And when I watch somebody perform songs that I'm very familiar with, it's a good lesson. Like one of the immediate takeaways for me is what is actually necessary in the song.
That's
like what are the actual bones of the song? And sometimes this happens a lot with like friends of mine who I've seen them, if you go out on tour with somebody and you hear them singing a particular set of songs night after night after night, there's always like a part of me that's like, I bet they think that thing that they're doing here is integral to the song.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm like, and you
great.
never, it's like, if they ever ask me, maybe I'll offer this. But I'm like, it's really not.
It's not,
they could cut that out. And then I'm like, what are those things for me that I'm doing? And even physically too.
Yeah.
I can't bring myself to listen back to like live board tapes or like, let alone like watch a video, but
tough.
It would be so helpful to do. Because I've done it once in my career, and there's like, I used to do this thing where I would hover, like I'm like crouching down for the listener who can't see me. I would be sitting on a drum throne every show, but I wouldn't sit on it. I would be like in a squat position the whole show.
Jeez Louise.
Because I'm like, this is energy. Like if I sit, it's like, okay, everybody. But I'm like, no, if I hover slightly, then it's like brings the energy up. And then I watched a video of it, and I'm like, you can't even tell that I'm not sitting on the drum throne sometimes. I'm like, dude, just sit on the drum throne. That thing that is taking 40% of your energy is not even registering for the listener.
Listen, everybody, this year, don't let an expensive security system get in the way of your goals of protecting what matters most. Cove's DIY security system is affordable and perfect for those looking for peace of mind on a budget. And that peace of mind starts with Cove, a home security company designed to protect families for less than $1 a day. I mean, come on. Cove helps you build a customizable security system. You just fill out a quick online quiz so you only get what your home actually needs. Setup takes about 30 minutes. I did mine in slightly less than that. You know, it's not a competition, but I did. And then you have a live video and audio stream directly to your phone so you can see and hear what's happening in real time. Now, Cove isn't just about security. It's also helpful for those of us who work from home. Let's say I'm back here in my studio in my backyard and I'm working on a smash hit like I am every day, and somebody rings the doorbell. With Cove, I can see, oh, it's just a delivery person, and they'll just leave the delivery and go on. Or I can see like, oh, it's my mom and dad. They drove down from Indiana to surprise me because I'm their favorite kid. And then the jams will have to stop and I'll go and say hi to my mom and dad, right? And with Cove, every system comes with a 60-day free trial, and your Dadville discount code will stack with the current site-wide sale for extra savings. So make protecting your home one of your New Year's resolutions. Check out Cove at covesmart.com and use our code DAD, D-A-D, for an additional 10% off your first order. Easy, affordable, and peace of mind guaranteed. Cove. Hey everybody, you know, it's a new year, and chances are, wherever you are, the days are cold. This is the moment when your winter wardrobe really has to deliver. And if you're craving a winter reset, start with pieces made to last season after season with Quince. Now, Quince brings together premium materials, thoughtful design, and enduring quality, so you stay warm, you look sharp, and you feel your best all winter long. Quince just has everything you need this winter, like men's Mongolian cashmere sweaters. I'm literally wearing one right now, and I love it. Wool coats, leather and suede outerwear that hold up to daily wear and still look great. Each piece is made from premium materials by trusted factories that meet rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. By cutting out the middlemen and traditional markups, Quince delivers the same quality as luxury brands at a fraction of the price. The result is classic styles you'll love that hold up year after year. Now, I mentioned the Mongolian cashmere, but you know what my favorite is right now? I think it's the beautiful Italian wool chore jacket in cadet blue. I mean, only $150, and it looks amazing, even though I wear it every single day. So refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/dadville for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns, y'all. Can't believe it. Now available in Canada, too. That's QUINCE.com/dadville. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dadville. You know, one of the things that I'm kind of already missing from recently celebrating the holidays with my family are all the great homemade recipes that have been perfected over generations, you know? It instantly kind of grounds me. And it reminds me of how much I love things made with true care. And that same feeling comes through in Boll and Branch's signature sheets. And adding their coveted waffle bed blanket only deepens it. I mean, I could fall asleep right now just thinking about how soft these things are. Together, they wrap you in exceptional softness and comfort and quality beyond your wildest dreams. Whatever you're imagining right now, double it. That's because the signature sheet set is an iconic essential, loved for its buttery soft feel that gets softer with every wash. The waffle bed blanket drapes you in that soft, springy, near weightless warmth of its coveted texture, and together, they create the softest, most breathable bedding experience designed for better sleep season after season. I will never, ever go back to my old sheets and blanket. Ugh, gross. The softness is what blows my mind, almost like you're just floating in your bed, you know? It makes my sleep legitimately so much better. It also helps with temperature. I never feel too hot, never feel too cold, always feel just right. So, discover a softness beyond your wildest dreams. Again, whatever you're imagining, double it with Boll and Branch. Get 15% off your first order plus free shipping at bollandbranch.com/dadville with the code DADVILLE. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/dadville, code DADVILLE to unlock 15% off. Exclusions apply.
It's so funny you say that. I'm like, I think a really interesting subject, which again, we can get out of this really quick because it's definitely insider baseball, but I do think something that is misunderstood by anybody that hasn't taken the time to do what you just said is how we sing these songs a million times a year. And so to us, I'm going to speak for me, to me, I'm like, it's boring, man. You got to spice it up. Do that little lick in the thing. Do that.
Yeah.
People hear that song, if they're lucky, live from me once a year.
Right.
And so they're just going like, hey, just sing the thing, man. And I'm like, I know. You want the – and they're like, no, I don't. Stop. I don't actually – I haven't seen you in 3 years. Would you sing?
I don't even remember.
Would you just sing the thing?
Yeah.
And so which is really freeing to me.
Yeah.
It's not the opposite where I'm disappointed or like, I'm like, oh, good. I don't have to – I think that is – me, I'm speaking very much about me. If I have an Achilles heel with live shows, it is that sentiment. It is the feeling of like, oh, keep it going, switch it up. What do they need?
Yeah.
They've seen the show a bunch. They probably are tired of things.
Right.
And it's and I think you said it so well. The great equalizer in that moment is remembering how you feel at those shows. Which I want to take a. This is not planned, everybody. I want to take a.
This is just raw podcaster instincts.
You're watching someone really know how to navigate a conversation and pressure me. Can I tell you, I don't know why this made me think of it, and we don't have to spend more than 3 minutes here, but do you know what Ben and I listened to in the car yesterday that was so much fun to listen to was Continuum. And this is where I'm going, so it sort of lands as plane. Obviously, I would say, it's in my top 20 records.
Yeah, for sure.
Possibly would push into my 10. I mean,
it's the only album that Amy and I stayed up till midnight and went and bought it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, and he has said this numerous times. It is the crown jewel of his discography, and I love his music.
Yeah.
So that's really saying something. But I think most people, and he's really said that. Anyway, but I bring it up because it was fun. I haven't listened to that record in a long time. And it was fun listening to it with Ben, who's my oldest, my 14-year-old, because I was, encouraged that he really enjoyed it. Because I've played some of his stuff for them in the past, and they just did not. It was like a big swing and a miss.
Yeah.
But Ben was like very into it. But you know what I really slept on that record is how good his voice sounds. Like,
yes.
I think that record, and this is how I experience a lot of things in my life. I sort of experience things as like I don't know how to say, as explosions. Like things, it can be an experience, a song. I'm not the guy. It just comes to me as a huge blast of a thing. It's not separated into man. And so what's great about that is that I can go back to these things and actually then experience them in sort of pieces of like, man, that time when I listened to it. So the first time I heard it was just like joy and amazement and like emotion.
Yeah.
It wasn't a guy playing the guitar singing a song. It was just like, whoa, God. But sitting with Ben, we were driving around a bunch yesterday afternoon between sports things, and he was with me. I found myself like listening a lot more to like guitar playing, John's voice, like lyrics, little melodies like I didn't really hear before. And
I remember thinking distinctly, I mean, that was a shift in the way he sang.
Yes.
everything that was up to that was like that deeper, kind of super airy thing. And then I'm like, I remember hearing it and thinking he's singing differently now.
It's his voice really does sound great. Like not just how it's mic'd and the quality of it, but like his tone and stuff is just really great.
Yeah.
But man, what a record.
Oh my gosh.
What a record, man.
I couldn't talk about that record without tearing up for a while. Same thing that happened with Dawes, A Little Bit of Everything.
Oh,
I could
that
not.
record.
Our friend Micah Dalton played that song for me whenever that was, 15 years ago. And I couldn't talk about it. It's so good. It brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah, John, I don't know. I mean, I think one of the great things about him, I've never really said this out loud, so I may need to get Jason to cut this out because I don't want it to be misconstrued, but he's always frustrated me, you know, like knowing he's of my generation, you know, like we kind of came up around the same time. Not that it was ever a competition. One, because it never was, but two, that's not music. You know, it's just we're all offering our music to you to enjoy.
Yeah.
It was always hard because he's just so good and it just screws your paradigm up. It screwed my paradigm. It was like it killed the bell curve every time.
Yeah.
You know, it was like he was the gifted kid in class. You're like, just go to another class. Like,
yeah,
it's
right. It's
fun.
like the kid who was in like the piano recitals with Jacob Collier in the beginning.
Yeah,
and you're like,
just leave.
Well, the whole world is already frustrated with you. I was at the starting line with you.
Yeah.
Again, not that that's how it works, but
and I'm kind of thankful that he was technically, you know, he kind of started his career probably a year before I did, maybe a couple years. So in some ways, I was able to sort of write off a lot of it. It's like, well, I mean, technically,
if I had
we're the same
started.
age, but he started before I did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, he has always been such a tremendous inspiration to me, and I mean, honestly, I would say more than anything, he's kind of always been a little bit like, I don't know how to say this in a way that sounds too weird, but I've always kind of felt like there's artists that I look to as kind of like North Stars, which kills that analogy because there's only one North Star. But you know what I mean? Like they kind of help me arrange where I am.
Yeah.
And when they some, you know, like Stevie Wonder's that and the Beatles or whatever, but contemporary wise, he is the one. It's like every time John puts out music, and I would say especially in that first 10, 15 years, I would feel myself realigned to like, okay, that's kind of where he is. I need to keep that in mind because that's helpful and inspiring.
Yeah.
And it was so fun listening to that record again yesterday and just remembering like, you know, here's my last thing I'll say about it. I remember reading an interview, and I think people that like that record should go back and listen because you'll see this. But he said something I thought was really great. He's like, on that record, because that was really when kind of streaming was starting a little more, and I think we were all feeling the fight to keep people's attention with other media and things. And he was like, I just realized that I needed to add a theme to the end of every song that was a new musical theme. And it's so unbelievable. Da, 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 da. Every song, he has this little new musical thing that ends the song so you don't skip it.
Yeah.
And I love that about that record. Like, it's a fun way to listen to that record because you realize, like, he really does. It's not sort of like chorus, bridge, second chorus, or last chorus, guitar solo out. It's like
there's no copying and pasting.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is like a vocal thing or like a, you know, what does inside a mother's hand to believe can. There's so many of those. And then he does it. It's just cool to see that kind of intent and how effective it is.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about that record too.
Speaking of the Beatles.
Don't do that, John.
Well, look, this is not planned. This is just raw.
Don't make me sing. Don't make me sing.
I mean, I'm thinking, I'm sure a lot of the listeners that are listening right now follow you on Instagram and they saw the video that you posted. But give a synopsis. But I'm curious, now that it's been, has it been a month? When did this happen?
Yeah, a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks.
I'm curious what, you know, like.
In real time or dream time? Because in this case, they're very different.
It was 5 minutes ago.
It's still happening.
When big things like that happen, what is the effect after some time has gone by? You know what I mean? Like, is it something that
Like,
you?
what's the hangover?
Well, it's just like I've had my versions of these things that have happened where immediately after you think, okay, this like go forward with this joy. Go forward with this.
Yeah, well said.
Whatever solace you've taken from this or whatever like encouragement, whatever, don't lose it. And so now not that much time has gone by, but now that some time has gone by, I'm curious how you feel about that now. Like, are you able to?
Yeah. Yeah, and to quickly catch people up, the Paul McCartney. So I have a friend, Gary, who I just owe the world to at this point, but he really helped Paul get the record. And this is to answer your question, this is very apropos to this conversation. He got it. I don't know that he's heard it yet, even so real time.
Yeah.
So, he sent me, I want to read it. He sent a email to his PR people, Paul did, McCartney. He was Beatles, great guy. Super talented. And so
Beatles frontman at hotmail.gmail.
We both know that's a real email that's living in the world. And so a fun part of the story, which I haven't really, I maybe told this with you and the girl. I can't remember where I talked about this, but it's been my goal with the record was for him to hear it. That's 2.5 years ago, and so it's been a long time trying to. But he is, I would argue, other than current relevant superstars, Bieber and Sabrina Carpenter, he's probably the hardest person to get to.
Yeah.
For anybody that's in our industry. I mean, he's Paul McCartney. So it just took a long time of me trying to figure out how to do that. So anyway, Gary, my buddy, helps this happen. His PR person. I should probably shout him out. Should I tell him? Is it weird if so he's in a band called Take That. And it's Gary Barlow. And so Gary's just the best. I can't say enough about how great Gary is. So the whole I met Gary through Lucy Silvis and John Osborne, who are just amazing people. He was here. And he's a superstar internationally, and he laughs that the States is just kind of one place that, Take That had a huge hit with whatever I did, I didn't mean it. I love that song. And so the reason that I met him is because I told Lucy, when she was on Dadville, I think she talked about it, but on Dave's 5 Hot Takes, talked about it too back in the day. But she sang background for Gary, and I was like, "You need to understand something. That song is one of my favorite songs of all time." She's like, "Well, you need to meet him. You'd love him." And I was like, "If that ever, that'd be such a fun conversation."
Yeah.
So then, earlier this year, she called me and she's like, "Hey, Gary, we're going to eat. He's in town. You want to come?" And it was just such a fun conversation. He is the most gregarious, talkative, just wonderful guy. Paid for everybody's meal. He's that kind of guy. So I tell him the story. He's like, "I think I can help." And so takes months to land this. And he told me, he's like, "If we pull this off, it's going to take a while." So just, I could get emotional talking about how kind he was. Anyway, so he finally is like, "Okay, I think it's happening. Like, is there anything else I need to know?" Whatever. I sent him the record. He gets it. So sure enough, I'm going to bed one night. This is hysterical. And whatever that was, 3 weeks ago. And I'm, kind of putting my phone up and I'm put my email up. Just like, all right, I'm just going to look one last time. And I refresh it. And there's an email from Gary and it says, "Here it is." And I was like, oh my gosh. My heart rate kind of goes up. And I'm like, I'm just staring at the phone. It's like such a movie moment. I'm just staring at the phone. I'm like, okay.
So he didn't use the subject, "Take That." I feel like that's a missed opportunity on his part.
You should end the episode. There's no way nothing's gonna beat that on this episode. God, it's so good. So I have this dilemma because I'm like, if I look at this now, I am not sleeping tonight. I have no idea what it's going to say. So I click on the email just out of curiosity, and I start to scroll, and I was like, nope, and I close it. And I was like, I have to. And somehow I slept that night, which is pretty remarkable. I think, too, I wanted to extend the tension in a fun way. So I get up the next morning, and basically the email is 3 paragraphs that have been copied and pasted. The first is from the PR guy to Gary, that he works with, saying, "Hey, here's Paul's thing. Such a fun thing. Glad we could help." Second one is from Paul to Gary. And it's like, "Hey, thank you so much for this. Means a lot you were thinking of me. I love this. This is so fun," or something like that. And the third one, this is what it said. Okay. Dear Dave.
Just for the listener, Dave is reading this from his tattoo on his thigh.
You laugh. I'm not real far from that. So, hey Dave, thanks for sending me your music. To listen to the Beatles music for a whole year means you're a fully qualified crazy cat. I love that so much. I look forward to checking out your songs, and I'm really quite flattered that you took this approach. We enjoyed making the music, and it's great that you enjoyed it and listening to it. Cheers, Paul. And this is that line trips me up every time. The thing I haven't even thought about is how flattered. I mean, Paul McCartney's flattered. Like, probably should be the least flattered person in the world. I mean, everything. Yeah. You should just know, like, of course, people. But just I don't know. Something feels so brought in. Like he's letting, just to say we enjoyed making the music. The Beatles. He didn't put the Beatles. But we. Right. It's just I would just, like, I can't get over that line. I'm like, that's just the coolest thing in the world. So I'm like, oh, yeah, we enjoyed it. And I'm like, oh, like you and John and Paul and Ringo. It's like, yeah, we. Yeah. I'm like, that's so cool. Anyway, so it's been, to answer your question, I'll say, I think, like, I don't know, man. I just feel it feels so fun because it's like there was this thing I was trying to do. And by God's grace and Gary's kindness, it happened. Yeah. Like this, what felt absolutely impossible. Like to get a physical record in the hand. So and I should say that. It's not a digital. This is not the Spotify thing. Yeah. Everybody I knew that knew him was like, he's going to want the record. And so then it gets even more insurmountable, which is kind of fun. Right. Because it's like, this is not like I emailed and emails got forwards. It is a physical thing that I sent to him in London. Via Gary, got to him, so that's even more fun. I attached a note to it, which I hope he read, and I'm sure he did, which is really fun. And it was a co-write idea. It's a really great lyric. I want to see what he does with it. But so that's fun. And I think where I am now is, like, just being really honest, it's hard not to feel like the story isn't done yet because I just want to. I'm dying to know if he listened to it. I'm dying to know, like, what he thinks of it, if and when he does. If he has any reactions to it. It's almost like it's whet the appetite even more now. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm just dying to know, like, did he listen to it? I think, my take on it now, I really think he will. And I know that sounds ridiculous, probably in some ways. I think what's compelling about it is that, it's sort of Gary has put it to him. And so I think as a friend, you'd be like, well, I want to, it's like if you came to me and said, hey, there's this guy that loves your music. He's really great. I'd be like, well, I want to hear it. Right. And two, you asked me to do it. And not that Paul McCartney owes anybody anything. Right. But, I think, and everybody I know, I mean, I got the sweetest, I emailed his PR guy. I was just like, man, thank you so much. And he was like, he said the most wonderful thing. He basically said, this is why I love working with Paul, is because he's just such a great human being. Yeah. And so those kind of things made me think, and I just think curiosity probably of just like, I want to listen to this, So that's where I am now, is just kind of like, man, I would just, even if it was a PR guy going, hey, just so you know, Paul said he listened to it and loved it. I would just feel, right. But it's hard not to feel like, oh, it's hot. I know. It's like.
Hey, everybody, John here. Listen. The new year is the best time to start new things, right? Like that business that you've been dreaming about but haven't gone for it yet, We all have great ideas and skills, but those who are successful are the ones who take that first step and go for it, right? Keep that fresh start energy this January, okay? But what should your first move be? Shopify. Of course, Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person, and millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. That's because Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. You can choose from hundreds of beautiful templates, and then you can customize those templates to match your brand and your style. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines and help you edit product photos. Marketing? It's built in too, with email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. And as you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. Now in 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Dadville. Go to shopify.com/Dadville. Why aren't you going? Go there right now. Shopify.com/Dadville and hear your first this year with Shopify by your side.
And I said this to you when we were hanging on Christmas Eve. He could definitely listen to it. He could love it and could just get lost in the shuffle. And a message never gets back to you.
And that's I know it's a bold thing to say. That's where I'm living. It's just like I'm assuming he sat and listened to it. He enjoyed it. Maybe lowest common denominator. He sees Gary out and goes, "Hey, by the way, I listened to Dave's thing. It was great.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending that." Worst case scenario, we never know. And I just get the joy of that, which is plenty. It's 100-fold more than I
Or
expected.
he listened and he's threatened and he doesn't want to, reach out.
So you bring that. I want to be really clear. I didn't bring that up.
Right.
Also a scenario.
He's starting to rethink his whole career.
He's listening back to the White Album and going,
why did we put this out?
This now, in comparison, in relief to Dave's, this I want to revisit some things with Dave.
He can't listen to Continuum anymore.
Dave, it's Paul. What if we got together and we reworked Blackbird? Do you have a bridge? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Last thing I'll say, it has been so fun in a really innocent, innocuous way for me to have these daydreams I have now of because it's so fun, because they're ridiculous, but it's fun to have them.
Yeah,
that he listens and, lowest bar would be he listens and I do get the message from his PR guy.
Yeah.
It's like, just want to follow up. Paul wanted to let you know he heard it. Here's his email about that. I mean, that would be, I would be ecstatic, and I would feel like we've closed the loop.
Yeah.
Not that the loop needs to be closed. Second from that is these, I want to be so clear. These are ridiculous. These are absolutely ridiculous things to say, but it's fun to think about. Second, I'm embarrassed if I was even saying these. Second would be, he said if you ever want to come to a show, he'd love to say hey.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
But he's going to be back in the Southeast next year. He just said, let me know if Dave ever wants to come to the show. It'd be fun. And I don't meet him. That would be one.
Yeah.
Second from that, I get to go back and say hey before the show. That'd be crazy, right? Now the crazy though, where you get where you get really crazy. It's like this is my dream more than he wants to write or something. I really mean this. It's more than that. Is that, hey, Paul said he's really enjoyed the record. He keeps listening to it. If you're ever in London, he said, man, he'd love to go grab lunch or grab a coffee or come by and say hey. I mean, that is that's take me out of the world, Elijah me to heaven, because I'm of no use anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But I think that's why this is fun. Is because you go, I don't know. If you'd have told me 4 years ago that Paul McCartney would be holding my record, I would have thought you're crazy. So that's what's dangerous about these things is they sort of open up this little thing in my brain that's like, well, if we've gotten this far,
right,
who's to say?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. It's just going, I don't know, man. I don't know.
To be continued.
To be continued. And I think, and I'll say lastly about that, I think it's only because it's him. If it was, I don't know. I mean, name another star. It just doesn't feel quite as, the mountain isn't quite as high to get to.
Right.
He is the tip of that. And not just because of his stardom, but because just how hard he is to get to.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was the thing I realized really early on is you and I had this conversation with somebody the other day in our world, another singer-songwriter. And we were both saying that's what's actually really fun about what we do is it's not that hard to get to people. You've been doing as long as you and I have, but we just know a lot of people. And all with enough calls, you're at least to their management or, their PR people. Those people work for everybody.
Yeah.
And so from there, it's not, if you're really determined it's not that hard to get to most people when you're in the industry like we are.
Yeah.
You just know people. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I know his old tour manager, his guitar player is a friend of mine, played on my record. You
Right.
can. He though, that's a different thing, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so fun about it is feeling like this really a lot of things had to go the right way, and again, just God's kindness and Gary's kindness too. It just did.
Yeah.
That's what's fun,
So 2026 kicked off
Well, that was technically 2025.
well for you.
But it is. To your
But that
point,
sent you into 2026.
it jettisoned me into 2026.
Yeah.
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 So how would you? Well, first I want to say this. How are you feeling? While we don't get out of 2025 yet, how are you feeling about the record? Like, how are you? What is your? I always feel like it's fun, like a couple of months in, to kind of go. What's the feel of it now? And I'm telling you, I've told you this 100 times, but for the listeners, the Barnes family has worn that record out, and I think what's even more important to qualify that is the kids actively asked to listen to it.
I love that.
So that's not me going, let's listen to John's record. Like, it is, they are like, they
Yeah.
don't even ask. They grab the phone, it queued up, and we're in.
Yeah. I love that.
It's a great record.
Thank you. I feel great about it. I mean, it's, there was such a pause. There's a huge
the
pause
Christmas
button that is
pause,
hit,
yeah.
and then Christmas time comes, and I did the Christmas tour, and so now it feels like we're just getting back into the non-Christmas swing of things, But I mean, I'm really proud of this record. I really, not to get all into it again, because I think I've said all this before, but I have never scrapped a whole record and started over.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you said that.
And so it felt like, and I've never really, I've never really put a record out when the record was ready. There's always another reason to put it out. There's always some, we've already said that I'm going to put it out, which even that is like, we'll just change the date. But this one feels, I just don't feel like, for me personally, this is just my little record, I don't feel like there's a weak song on there. There's not one that I'm hoping everybody goes and grabs snacks while this one's on, And so when the record came out, the response was great, and I kind of, to get back to what I was alluding to with the Paul McCartney thing, where like this thing happens in this moment and you're like, remember this, take this.
Yeah.
I felt like I had several moments, whether it be some comment online or, I mean, what means a ton are texts from friends, peers, where I felt like, okay, like shoulders drop, exhale.
The work has been done.
It exists. The record is out there. Lucas Morton did such a great job on the production, as did all the players, and Moffat mixing, all that, So just be proud of it. It's done. Like it's out there. So, and I haven't even, started touring on it, or I've played a little bit of it out, and it's felt great. So, I just feel great. I feel grateful. I love that, that 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now, I was like, no, it's not ready. Let's scrap it, start over. And,
it's funny when I think about, I've never actually said this or enunciated this before. I was just kind of putting this together as you were talking. I'd zoned out. But like, I really feel like, and this is my first swing at trying to explain it, but this is kind of the best I got right now. I feel like for the first, 10 years of an artist's career, it's about building the sound and the brand, and so you're just about adding into it. Let's add more to bulk what I think I want myself to be, and then I think kind of after that, honestly, fifth, sixth record, it's about making sure that what you're adding isn't taking away. So how do I really think through these records now? Because these records, in my opinion, as an artist and a listener, they're different than those first records. It's about like because the bulk of it is there now. Like kind of the great mass of what John McLaughlin is kind of out there in the world, living, doing what it's doing. Then after that, it's like, how do I still add to it, but in ways that really feel intentional and on purpose? And they're, and I think what I love about this record is it absolutely does that. I think that's what I love that. I think that it's so good. The songs are so good. I mean, like you said with Lucas, the production is so cool and sounds are great. And I think the other thing I like about this record is it really makes a case for why it's worth spending money on a record. And I think to people that don't know that, I think nowadays, because of, so many people having Pro Tools and Logic and these ways that we can make records in our homes and studios and stuff ourselves.
Yeah.
There's a real compulsion to be like, man, I can just save a ton of money by just doing as much of this myself. And some people are absolutely good enough to do that. But I think when I hear that record, when I hear Scenarios, I'm like, man, it's just a good reminder that this is the quality you get when you pay for guys like Lucas and players to play on it, because they really do add so much value in certain scenarios like that, where you're really going into the studio, having other people contribute their ideas and sounds.
Yeah, and I mean, as you're saying that, I'm thinking I want to be I'm going to be better at posting online, posting some videos, telling people about the record, promoting the record, all that kind of stuff. But like there's a particular song that and I love it when people do this, when they pull up the demo. Like, here's what the demo was, and then they slide over and like, here's the record.
Yeah.
That would be cool to do with all the songs, but there's one song in particular.
And you know how to do that. You have the video capabilities for sure.
I mean, maybe. I think Wirtz actually has done that.
Guarantee
Wirtz knows how to do it. There's one in particular, which was the song that I got stuck on, and it's why I went to Lucas Morton. And it is the most, it's like, here was my vision, and then Lucas Morton took it into like this whole, just added, it was like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And that would be the most
the one that shows,
fine tip on the point of what you get when you work with somebody really talented like that. So anyway, I feel great about it, and I'm excited to get out there and play these songs, properly.
That's so fun.
So
that's your 2026.
Anyway.
That's how you careened into 2026.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do these symphony shows with Ben Rector, which are gonna be a blast, and so it may be we're actually getting ready to. Well, by the time this comes out, we will have announced. I'm doing some West Coast shows here in the spring. We're gonna do some more in the fall. They'll be peppered in. I mean, the days of me being like, hey guys, here's a 40-city tour.
Yeah.
We're hitting the road.
Yeah.
Those days are on pause, But yeah.
That's exciting.
It'll be great. And I mean, I feel like I just got off the road. Like I was on the road.
Yeah, for Christmas.
It wasn't that long, but it was a really fun, really active December.
Yeah.
It was busy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you were gone.
I was. But I'm here now.
You were making the money that I wasn't making. Is basically what
I was making some money, and I was happily spending a lot of it on great players and great special guests, and great hotels.
Oh man, yeah,
So I'm excited for 2026. I really am
too. I mean, ours has started really weird. I mean, it's public knowledge now, but this Covenant stuff has been so intense with the guy.
Yes.
And y'all can look up all the information, but a guy basically, came on campus to the school and got in and, took a bunch of footage, which was super creepy, and then came back about a week later, couldn't get in the second time because we had fortified everything. I mean, that place is Fort Knox. It's amazing how that church and school are extremely fortified and security and everybody's there. But, I mean, just talk about a sucky way to start.
I
a year.
mean, I hate it for you guys.
He's been caught, thank goodness, and
I didn't know that.
yeah, they caught him 2 days ago, and it's a sad story. I mean, he's a 17-year-old kid, lives around here. I think has some mental disabilities, that's why I say it's sad.
Yeah.
They're not pressing charges.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
people
you
have a
just
lot of
want to
feelings
know
about that. You just wanna
what's
know.
happening.
But no threat. It was
Yeah.
not. There's no.
Yeah.
He apparently wants to be a reporter,
Mhm.
and so was documenting in that way, not for a attack or anything. But I mean, you talk about unsettling when that first report came out to us as families in the church and school that someone had been on here's your reporting slip. Had been on campus, videoing security cameras.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just like, it is hard not to go to the worst depths of your brain to assume all the things that, infers. But thankfully it was, and by God's grace, it was just about the most, non-threatening thing that could happen inside of that.
Yeah.
Which is such a relief.
Well, that's good. I did not know that they found it.
Praise the Lord. And again, it's just a wonderful resolution to that thing that it was, they didn't go home and find a cache of guns or drawings of the school with ways to inflict harm. There was none of that, which is huge. Or I'm assuming none of it. I mean, they haven't said that technically, but I think we would know by now if there was.
Yeah.
That was, don't like the beginning of the year that way.
Yeah.
You know what it is? And I mean, there are so many families listening to this that have gone through just nightmarish things. And I think I just sit there and I go, I'm just so unqualified to know what to do. I think that's such a weird feeling as a parent that so many people that are listening to this know really intimately, and I'm sorry they do. But, when you're just, whatever that scenario is, we're just like, I don't know how to think about this. There's no manual for this,
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm glad that's behind us. I mean, one of the silver linings is the school was able to, the church, which the school benefits from, but the church was able to fortify even more things that'll, God willing, never happen again. But, just as a parent, not just that's a member of the church, but the school too, you definitely feel like breathe a little easier knowing like, oh, wow, we added some stuff there and, locked even more doors and things like that. So that's a silver lining, which is good. It's good to know that it's even safer now. But, man, this world we live in is crazy.
It is.
But, thankful that it got resolved and school's safer and church is safer. So,
yeah.
Did you want to end heavy?
How do we segue? What's the perfect joke to say right now?
Well, I don't have it. I don't have it. But I am excited about 2026. I think there's a lot that I'm thankful for. And I mean, if it does make me thankful. It makes me thankful that the kids are safe and, that wasn't a real threat. And those things are so interesting because it really colors a lot of other things. You really do realize how every day's a gift and you just don't know what's going to happen. And it really does make things sweeter. It does. It really does. And I think if there's a positive from it, it's to know that everybody's okay and nobody got hurt and it wasn't a threat ultimately. And, those things can be like nice little jolts of
for sure
thankfulness,
Yeah.
Which was that your first or second jazz record?
We never actually released it, but
okay.
Boy, did we pour
So
a
that
lot
was
of
another
money
one you
into that.
scrapped.
Yep.
Okay. What was the what was the single that you were leading with?
It was called The Single I'm Leading With. And again, we pulled it. So. So dumb.
You win.